Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Jap here, doing my first official build video. So, as most of you guys know, this is my main character. Has been since probably about August. So, I spent a little time with this character. I've learned a lot of different things about this character, as far as the do's and the don'ts of rolling with the MagickaDK. So anyway, I feel extremely comfortable presenting this build video in hopes that really it's going to help any other MagickaDK starting off. Hopefully, give you a good foundation to really go with, and not only a foundation. This really is the best skills I believe, and as far as that sort of thing that you can use as a DK goes, it's overall very well rounded, I believe. A little underpowered due to the current situation, but anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get to the build video. I'm sorry. So what we have here is a high elf DK. As far as our, we are a vampire. I used the Atronach Mundus Stone for the recovery. And then I used Tri-Stat Purple Foods. 160, I am a 561 champion. CP 561. But this is a light armor. This is a great dueling build, and it's a pretty solid build if you were to do 1v2s, 1v3 scenarios, and that sort of thing. So I've dueled, I've built somewhat of a reputation for myself dueling on this DK, tried many different gear combos and everything like that. For my dueling style, this works really well because I don't use potions in a duel. So anyway, as far as the gear goes, what we are working with is we run 5 Lich, 5 Sun, 2 Valkynscoria. We do dual wield Resto, dual wield being the Sun and Resto being the Lich set, the 5th piece. As far as all the gear goes, some of it's purple, all the Sun is yellow. Right now I am dual wielding daggers. The ideal obviously would be swords because you get about an extra 200 spell damage using swords over daggers. Daggers will give you more crit, where the swords are more spell damage. So anyway, right now, as a lot of you guys know, the sword Suns are really hard to get and fairly expensive at the guild traders if you don't grind for it and that sort of thing. So right now we're rocking what I could get, which is the daggers. The traits are just whatever traits they had, I think decisive and powered. I have the Resto staff of the Lich in training. Again, still in the process of farming, but either way, the build is still good enough to show you guys what it's about. And then we have the Valkynscoria heavy in reinforced, the Valkynscoria shoulders in medium, and divines. Not the ideal traits again, but it does work for the current situation, so you can fine tune everything. All of my body pieces, except for the head and shoulders, are infused. I wanted to get maximum Magicka for this build, and that's simply just so you can hit harder. Everybody knows that. The more max Magicka you have, the harder you'll hit. So we have all infused, and as long as you can use your shields right and you're volatile, the crit resistance isn't that important. Typically in duels, most of my duels, this character has enough burst to really burst people down, and most of the duels I can end relatively fast. Some duels, the people are really good, and obviously the duels drag on and they take a little bit longer. But like I said, about half of the duels I can burn down pretty fast. So anyway, we're running. The Sun is all yellow. So as you see, the gloves, the waist, the legs. The shoes I have are the Lich. They are infused as well, yellow. And then I have the Lich jewelry, all 174 spell damage, max magic arcane, The gear isn't, again, ideal as far as the sword. Like daggers, I'd rather have swords, and I'd rather have a better trait in resto staff. But it is what it is. Same thing as the head and shoulders. It is what it is, but this does work. It is effective. So what we have next is we're going to go over the skills I use for this. This, again, is ideal in a 1v1 scenario, but it can work up to in a 1v3 scenario, maybe 1v4 if you line of sight right, and that sort of thing. So as far as the skill goes, on the DPS bar, we have Flame Lash, followed by Inner Light, Fossilize for the stun, Burning Embers, Burning Talons, and then Shooting Star. The back bar, we have Structured Entropy, Healing Ward, Harness Magicka. Now this one is one you can swap out depending on who you're fighting. If you're fighting a stamina build, obviously you're going to want to use Harness Magicka. If you are fighting, say, a Sorcerer, Mage Sorc, or you are fighting a Magicka Nightblade that uses, you know, the Desto Resto build or that sort of thing, you're going to want to use the Wings. That's just because it obviously reflects their shit back, their stuff back at them. So you can swap that out with Wings, but then you'll use Volatile Armor and Engulfing Flames with the Bat Swarm ult. Most of the people nowadays you'll fight are stamina builds, so typically you just keep the Harness Magic. You do Dampen Magicka, but you're not really getting any extra. I mean, you're getting a little bit extra as far as what your shield absorbs. It's not a whole lot, though. I'd rather get the extra Magicka back turn, you know. So anyway, that's the skills. Pretty straightforward, and like I said, that can work into a 1v up to about a 1v4 scenario if you play it right. And then as far as the stats go of the character, I'll go over that. Let's get to my DPS bar. So this is what we have on the DPS bar. We have 40.7k max Magicka. We have 18.7k max health and 14.4k max stamina. Our spell damage right now is at a little over 2,000, and again, when you get the swords, it'll bump it up by an extra a little over 200. So we have 1,500 Magicka recovery, 41.9% spell crit. We have 14.9 spell resistance, 9.8 physical. My crit resistance is pretty low at 1,400. And on the back bar, everything obviously is dumped into Magicka. That's pretty much a given. And then on the back bar, we run 38.5k max Magicka, 20k max health, 14.4 max stamina. Spell damage drops, because obviously you're not dual wielding. 1,700 Magicka recovery stays the same at 1,500. Same spell resistance, physical resistance, critical resistance. Nothing's changed there. So again, you know, if you get the ideal gear, your stats they'll vary. Some people want Impen instead of Infused, that sort of thing. I feel for a dueling scenario, Infused is the best. Get the best bang for your buck. The more max Magicka you have, the harder you'll hit, the quicker you can end the match. So also, as far as if you rock light armor, and again, I'm really just trying to help pay it forward in the sense of helping other MagickaDKs that are just learning and that sort of thing. I had a couple MagickaDKs help me out when I first started, and it really helped me get to where I'm at now. So as far as the skills go, say if you run light armor all the time, dual wheel resto or however you do it, and you need skills for an open world scenario, say Cyrodiil 1vx, it's fairly similar to what you have for the dueling setup. You'll swap, I believe, 3 things out. You'll swap out Inner Light for Deep Breath, obviously for the AoE, crowd control. I always like to swap out the Wings for over Harness Magicka, just because I feel like the Wings really cut out people's ranged game. You know, if they're ranged, they have to get on you with the Wings, which obviously is going to help you because you don't have a gap closer. And then instead of Engulfing Flames, I run, again as a vampire, Elusive Mist. Bat Swarm stays the same. So like I said, you swap 3 things around to go from a 1v1 to a 1vx scenario. So this is pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Any suggestions, also please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. You can find me on Twitch. I stream daily. It's twitch.com/xthejap. All right. Thanks again, guys. This is my first official build video. It's not set in stone as far as the build goes. Anything is possible to change. Also, we're going to go over my champ points. It is possible to change at all times because we all know ESO is constantly changing. So you never know, but this is a fairly solid build. I've dueled with this build for months now, and it works fairly well for me. So, and as far as the champ points, these aren't the ones that I have that I used to run for my light armor. Recently, I've gotten into doing a heavy armor build where I'm experimenting with a 1vx scenario build. So these champ points are kind of they'll give you an outline for what you got to do for your light armor, and I'll also help you kind of tell you what I would do instead of these ones. But anyway, it's a given. Obviously, we have 100 into the reduction cost of Magicka spells. I have 65 into Magicka recovery. Then I have 22 into tumbling. I have 10 into Elfborn for spell crit, 89 into elemental expert. I have 48, I'm sorry, into spell erosion. Nothing into this one, and then I have 40 into thaumaturge. Now, one thing you can do, and it's a possibility. I tried it out. I tried different versions out of tweaking these. One thing you can do is you can actually, and I did for a while, and it was actually fairly, it was pretty awesome. The dots were insane. I actually just ran into 100 into elemental expert. I didn't run anything into any of these, and I ran everything else I had into thaumaturge. So I had like 80-some champ points in there at one point. That's not what I ended up with, but it does work. The dots will do work. So that's what is MagickaDK. The dots we have them, so utilize them. So anyway, this is a fairly decent one. With the spell pin being a little high, you can eat through a lot of this heavy armor that's floating around nowadays. So anyway, again, this is just general. You can build off of it. This isn't anything I've perfected, because if I had perfected it, I wouldn't be showing it. No offense. But so we have 77 into resistant, 55 into hardy, 55 into elemental defender, and then that's it. So that's all the champ points. Like I said, this isn't anything mastered. Feel free to tweak it out. This is just kind of an outline for anybody starting the MagickaDK class. If you guys ever need any help, please feel free to look me up. My Twitch handle is xthejap. You guys can find me streaming daily, mostly MagickaDK, and I'm always down to help. So thanks for tuning into the build video, guys. I do appreciate it. Hope you all have an awesome day. All right.